They love a good scrap down under. Whether they're punching kangaroos in the outback or having a 1 ounce in the land of the long white clad, anyone can get it. Luckily for us, a select few choose to do it in front of cameras for the world to enjoy. So do yourselves a favour, crack open a tinny, put another shrimp on the barbie and get ready for the best the Southern Hemisphere has to offer. Kia ora whanau, I'm Kyle from the Casual Corner, brought to you by the Combat Sports Network, and today we're going to be covering the top 10 best knockouts and TKOs by Australian and New Zealand UFC fighters. As a side note, the entries on this list will be current active Kiwi and Aussie UFC fighters and will only feature knockouts from their tenure in the UFC. If you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe and let us know what video you would like to see next. Without further ado, let's get cracking. Number 10, Shane Young versus Rolando Dy. Coming off of a loss in his debut UFC appearance to future featherweight champion Alexander Volkanovski, Shane Young stepped into the octagon to face off against Rolando Dy at UFC Fight Night 132. With 30 seconds left in the second round, Young landed a cracking counter elbow, rocking Dy and causing him to stumble back against the cage. He followed up with a barrage of punches, dropping Rolando and bringing a stop to the bout. The fight earned Shane a Fight of the Night bonus. Number 9, Robert Whittaker versus Derek Brunson. To mark his landmark 10th UFC fight, the Reaper headlined UFC Fight Night 101 in Melbourne, Australia, where he would take on the formidable Derek Brunson, who was on a 5-fight win streak, a win streak in which he had defeated 4 of his 5 opponents by first round TKO. But that didn't faze Whittaker. 4 minutes into the first round, he landed a brutal head kick, stunning Brunson. He followed up with some heavy uppercuts, sending Derek to the ground before finishing him off with a sprinkler ground and pound, causing Herb Dean to step in and call a stop to the fight. The Reaper earned both Fight of the Night and Performance of the Night bonuses for this highlight reel finish. Number 8, Dan Hooker versus Hatsu Hioki. Coming off of a loss in his last fight, Dan the Hangman Hooker needed a win when he faced Hatsu Hioki at UFC Fight Night 65 in Adelaide, Australia, a card headlined by the Super Samoan Mark Hunt and future 2-time UFC heavyweight champion Stipe Miocic. Late in the second round, Hooker landed a head kick, dropping Hioki to his knees before finishing him with some brutal punches from behind, leaving Hatsu face down and out cold on the canvas. Number 7, Israel Adesanya versus Paulo Costa. Fresh off of what might be the most boring and disappointing title fight in UFC history against freak of nature Yoel Romero, the last stylebender stepped in to defend his middleweight title for a second time against the undefeated 13-0 Brazilian wine connoisseur Paulo Costa. Izzy dropped Costa with a left hook to the temple before jumping in full mount and ending his opponent with some nasty ground and pound. To add insult to injury, Izzy then dry humped a dazed and confused Costa into oblivion. Remarkable. Number 6, Alexander Volkanovski versus Chad Mendes. New South Wales native Alexander Volkanovski earned his first Fight of the Night bonus after beating Chad Mendes at UFC 232 in Inglewood, California. Towards the end of the second round, Volkanovski ripped to the body and followed up with a heavy right hook, putting Mendes on his bum where he would follow up with a few more big punches for good measure. Number 5, Jimmy Crute versus Modestas Bukauskas. At the end of 2020, Australian light heavyweight prospect Jimmy Crute made his way to Fight Island in Abu Dhabi to take on Modestas Bukauskas in a fight that would earn him his second straight Performance of the Night bonus. It only took 2 minutes for Jimmy to land a devastating overhand right, dropping Bukauskas, who got straight back to his feet before getting put straight back down with a mean left. Number 4, Tai Tuivasa versus Rashad Coulter. Tai Tuivasa was on a 6-fight winning streak when he made his UFC debut in his backyard of Sydney, Australia at UFC Fight Night 121 against Rashad Coulter. Deep into the first round, Bam Bam landed a huge flying knee, dropping Coulter to the mat. Tai followed up with a heavy hammer fist to finish his opponent and earn his first Performance of the Night bonus. Number 3, Kai Kara France versus Rogerio Bontorin. Kai Kara France earned his first Performance of the Night bonus when he knocked out Rogerio Bontorin at UFC 259 in March. With 5 seconds left in the first round, Kai landed an uppercut followed by a right hook, sending Bontorin headfirst into the canvas. Number 2, Dan Hooker versus Ross Pearson. After starting his UFC career as a featherweight, Dan the Hangman Hooker returned to lightweight to take on Ross Pearson at UFC Fight Night 110 on home turf in Auckland, New Zealand. The Hangman countered a forward-pressing Pearson with a deadly knee down the middle halfway through the second round, landing flush on the chin and sending Pearson's mouthpiece flying and Pearson himself to the floor, where Hooker would land a final parting shot before the referee would step in and call an end to the fight. Number 1, Israel Adesanya versus Robert Whittaker. UFC 243 in Melbourne, Australia was host to the middleweight title bout that pitted Aussie champion Robert Whittaker against Kiwi interim champion Israel Adesanya. Midway through the second round, Izzy landed a flush counter left hook, dropping the champion before following up with some heavy strikes to a floored Whittaker to finish the fight, unifying the UFC middleweight title and earning a well-deserved performance of the night bonus. So what do you think of our list of top 10 Aussie and Kiwi UFC knockouts and TKOs? Are there any that you think should have been included that we've missed? Do you think any should have been higher or lower in the rankings? Comment below, like the video and subscribe to the Combat Sports Network. Give CSN a follow on Instagram and Meta and check out our website www.combatsportsnetwork.co.nz and sign up for access to a plethora of homegrown combat sports events and fights from around the world. I'm Kyle, this is the Combat Sports Network. Until next time, ta-da.